And so we're here on the deck. It's good. Let me start this up. Well, good morning. Welcome to the meeting of the Okaloosa County Board of Commissioners. Tuesday, August 5th at 8:30 in the morning in Crestview. Hey, we're grateful this morning to begin with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation will be led by Dr. Ronnie Bearden, who's the pastor of First United Methodist here in Crestview, but he hosts two scout troops in his church, Troop 30G and 30B, and they'll be presenting the colors today. So if you would, please stand with us.
Let's pray together. Father in heaven, we come before you at this commission meeting and pray for your blessings upon all that happens here. We pray for a spirit of cordiality and truthfulness. We pray for all of the business that is conducted here, that it might honor you and benefit the wonderful citizens of our county. We thank you for Troop 30 and their long service in our area, and we pray for your continued blessings upon them and all they do. For I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Color guard attention. Scout salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance from the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard dismissed. Scouts at ease. Audience may be seated.
Mr. Hofstad.
Thank you, and good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I just have a few announcements this morning. Firstly, I just wanted to inform the board that I attended along with Ron Cliff, our code enforcement officer, to the meeting hosted by Senator Gates and Representative Boyles last night in Holt related to the kayak site. A lot of good information from FPL as to their work plan and what they plan to do to recover that site and recover the materials that were deposited in the creek system there. So attended that meeting last night, and like I said, a lot of good information. Next, I just want to correct a couple items on the consent agenda. The first item number 6, incorrectly listed the district reference. That should be District 4, Commissioner Goodwin. And the second item is consent item 12. And Jason, if you would, can you update the changes to that item?
Yes, because of the change with the way we approve plats from the state's, the legislative change that happened July 1, we do have a correction to make on the background. The resolution and the plat itself are correct. However, in the background information of the agenda item, it is incorrectly stated. And so what I'd like to do is ask that we replace it's the 4th paragraph inside of it. The sentence begins with "as noted on the final plat." It should read, "as noted on the final plat, Garden Street Community Southeast LLC dedicates all streets, utility easements, common area, detention areas, and rights of way, including Tract A, to be additional right of way for Dogwood Drive to the public." That statement is correct on the resolution. The only difference is we said it was an easement. It's actually dedication of the infrastructure. So what the board's approving is the acceptance of the infrastructure. Staff will approve the plat in accordance with state law.
Thank you.
That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hofstad. Ms. Hoshihara, County Attorney's update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no updates this morning.
Clerk Embry.
Nothing from the clerk's office. Thank you.
Yes, sir. This time we'll have public comment. You'll have up to 3 minutes for any topic of your choice. have 2 speaker cards. If you desire to speak in public comment, you've not submitted a speaker card, please see Mr. Tomachek in the back to submit one. You'll be recognized at the end of the meeting during public comment. But for these 2, Steve Perry, if you'll press the speak button. Thank you.
Good morning. I've been here several times, so you all know who I am and everything. I'm going to ramble on a little bit here on some issues that Mr. Fogg has stated at a diving club meeting he had back in June, and point out some things that you guys might not be aware of if you haven't seen the videos and some of the things he said. And that's perfectly fine. So I apologize if it sounds like I'm rambling a little bit. Alex says they're wanting to focus obviously on wreck diving and everything. Paraphrasing, he mentions they prefer to dive in, shallow water versus deep. That's understood. He also talks about the support of partners and everything like that. And in a email with Yamaha where he's requesting possibly contributing $1 million from them and give them a plaque, portholes and everything else to entice that, partnering with that. And it's fine. Yeah, you guys are the owners of the ship. But he also says that they can give a guided tour of the ship, see the progress and everything. Your contractor has said there is no people out on board. It's a work site and everything. But again, you guys as owner, you're allowed to bring anybody on as you see fit. But, again, it is a work site and you want to maintain safety, not just stuff for people who are willing to donate money and everything like that to entice them. With that said, the latest vessels you guys have sunk, one of them, the Skipping Sioux, obviously landed on her side instead of properly, but it's a small boat. Alex had made a comment about it didn't always work right the way you want it to and everything like that. Like I said, I'm positive if I'm rambling, but he did mention though that the MV Courageous that was done, the Navy blew up. One of the quotes he gave to the diving club was, quote, "The twisted metal at the break point in the middle of the ship will offer some interesting swim throughs, although there is a high risk of entanglement," unquote, and everything. So again, some of the stuff, when you do diving stuff, you don't want to encourage unsafe diving and increase potential fatalities or injuries to your divers that are coming to your coast. He mentioned that, the hurricanes are going to wreak havoc on the Skipping Sioux too because of the shallow water. A few other things related to that. The biggest one is the claim the ship has already been stripped of all non-metal in the past. That's totally incorrect, as you guys probably know, and I've told you this. The only thing that was removed over in Europe was asbestos. None of the PCBs, none of the hazardous materials, none of that stuff was removed. That's what your contractor is doing now. But that's not what he's indicating to the dive clubs, that the ship is clean. And that was far from the case. Also, there was never any removal of hazardous liquids in Philadelphia for the 30 years. I've been there the whole time and paying attention to this. None of that was ever done there. Some of that was done probably in 1980 at the first owner in Hampton Roads, but nothing in the way of hazardous liquids were removed in Philadelphia during the time. Other materials to pay for costs were done. So there's just a lot of misconceptions on things. Doesn't really matter in the whole scheme of things, but it's important that the right narrative be told when you're talking to potential dive operators for your dive thing and many other things. It's important to get the right story. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Perry.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if I may, just a brief comment, more procedure than anything else. And sir, all your comments were, I think generally respectful, so I appreciate that. And I know you've talked to us a number of times, but I think it might, Mr. Chairman, if it's okay, might be a good time to remind all our speakers that, when we're referring to things that are going on, instead of focusing on a staff person, just focus on the county said, and not necessarily a person or a commissioner. And I think we'll, because it's not really a forum to try to point out a particular staff member, but, to address what the county's doing. So if somebody's wearing a county badge when they're doing it, you can say the county said. I don't know, Mr. Chairman, if I'm out of line with that, but again, you weren't disrespectful, but we've, over the years, it's been, sometimes it's gotten that way. I'm not saying you were doing it, just an opportunity to remind everybody about it. So anyway, thank you.
I just wanted to point out, this was at a dive club meeting, I think on June 5th, that he gave over in Panama City. And I've listened to it, and there was many other inaccuracies. Ironically, when I spoke to you guys on September 24th and pointed out some things. He thanked me when I came here on October 1st for correcting some things. So again, I just want to make sure the narrative is correct and everything like that. There's no misunderstandings.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Perry. Kenny Fuller? Mr. Fuller, as you get started, based on history, I just want to remind you that we have some scouts in the room with us. Yes, sir. Thank you.
My name's Kenny Fuller. Mr. Robert Armin Goodman, I don't know what you're talking about, but the statute 112 and the statute 138, said chapter 112 and chapter 1 through 8 can say individually of what you've done, that you can be held accountable for what you've done, not the county, okay? So you quit trying to tailor what people can say. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You got that? Yeah, I just told you. Well, let me see. Well, a matter of fact, since we speaking of that, Brad Edwards, Embry, you in violation of 112. You in violation of 138. Also, in 2018, you worked for Mr. Peacock. You were making $76,735. I guess y'all make about $12,000 a month now since you're a public elected official. The thing about it, Stephen Brownlow Berman, born December 21st, 1959. He's 65 years old, 3 years older than me right now. He'll be 66 in December if nothing don't happen. Casey Reeves Watson. Casey Reeves Watson, you know who she is. She's the court administrator of Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, Escambia, and Walton County, that any judge you can get to pick to go over a trial, that she can set in front of a trial with any judge or one of your favorites or whatever you want to do. I want you to know that she is a lawyer, and what you're doing, you can get her law license removed. I got her bar number. That's what I want you to know. You know what this about, because I got a letter saying your buddy, Mr. John Dolan Peacock, he want to get me in front of the judge in Pensacola so one case can get dismissed. You know, the one that you was in second command. You was in second in command before he stepped down and let you be. And also, he donated, $500 to your campaign. Then you did the, what they call that, reappropriation, like legalize, give the money back, your bull crap, man. So I don't want to hear nothing from you, sir. You got that? Oh, I don't care about that you said you were FDLE and all that kind of crap. You can go to jail too, sir. And you know what I'm talking about and all that. And also,
Mr. Fuller, your time's.
oh, that's good. Kiss my ass. Said that. The law says I can't.
Commissioners, will be moving to the consent agenda. While we're here, Ms. Hoshihara, why don't you give us an update on the case if you choose?
Sorry, my apologies. There is one outstanding case that Mr. Fuller has filed against. It was filed against former clerk J.D. Peacock, individual commissioners that were on the board at the time, the county as a whole, the then county attorney, Greg Stewart, and John Hofstad. All of the county defendants have been dismissed except the county as a whole. The judge last 2 weeks ago issued an order to show cause. This case has been stale for like five plus years. And so it's also been reassigned to about 12 judges. It went through the gamut here. It's now in court in Escambia. 2 weeks ago, the judge issued a order to show cause requiring that the county file a response and Mr. Fuller file a response. And our office filed a response last week, which was mailed to Mr. Fuller. Hopefully the case will be dismissed and that will be the last pending litigation with Mr. Fuller. Also, just for the new commissioners' information, back then, Mr. Fuller had filed numerous cases against the sheriff, the clerk's office, the county, and former clerk J.D. Peacock and the county went through the process to have Mr. Fuller deemed a vexatious litigant. And we do have a court order that does deem him a vexatious litigant, which means he's unable to file pro se litigation against the county or county officials without getting permission from the chief judge. And so that is in place. And so hopefully we get this last remaining case knocked out and we have a clean slate until any further action.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that update. Mr. Goodwin?
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Hoshara, was I actually named individually as a defendant as well in that case?
Yes, all of the commissioners were, but everyone was.
And you were able to secure my dismissal?
Yes.
Did you make sure you got my middle name in that order? I want to make sure.
I until today, I did not know what your middle name was.
Now we
Fair
all.
enough. Fair enough. Anyway, but and also a good update on understanding about the vicious litigant order.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Chairman. So that's what I was talking to Ms. Hoshihara about was the vexation litigation, which just passed the State House, and he certainly falls in that category. So she said that they had already taken care of that. So that's what we were discussing. Thank you.
Commissioners, moving to the consent agenda.
Oh, I should explain that real quick. That means somebody who files litigation over and over and over again and ties up the court system for superfluous reasons. And it's been proven that I would say he falls in that category. I should say what that particular law does.
Yes, ma'am. Does that come with a motion for the consent agenda? Mr. Goodwin?
Just for clarification, the motion to approve, that's as modified by the comments from Mr. Hofstad and Mr. Autry.
Yes, with 6
Okay.
and 12. Any further discussion? All in favor signify with aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Begin department business with Mr. Tyrone Parker. Morning, Mr. Parker.
Morning. One item, good morning, Tyrone Parker, Transit Division. One item for Commission's consideration this morning. This is a request for approval for a special selection committee to score and recommend award for the public transportation services. The current agreement with MV Transportation will expire on December 31st, 2025, without any renewals. The committee will review the proposal, score, and make recommendation to award a new agreement. The following individuals are recommended for the committee. Pedro Rodriguez, who is a current Transit Disadvantage Board member and paratransit client. Howard Vanslow, who's on the Emerald Coast Regional Council. Joel Powell, who's on the Tri-County Community Council. Bonnie Barlow, who's with Bridgeway. And Brittany Orr, who's with the Housing Program Manager. And also, currently the Transit Division is working with the Purchasing Division as well as with the Transit Consultant. We're currently in the procurement phase of our process here, and we're working on the RFP with the Transit Consulting services that we've hired. And we're looking to bring the RFP during that selection process. We're looking to bring that award. Like I said, that we're selecting on a vendor and looking to bring that back, the award back, like I said, before the commission toward the end of this year. Our recommendation that we're going to award, like I said, and hopefully, like I said, we'll bring that back toward the end of the year, that we've selected, like I said, to the commission, and whoever we recommended, like I said, for confirmation as well as approval to the commission, like I said, toward the end of the year. So at this time, like I said, we're asking that approval from the commission for the names that we've recommended. And these individuals have confirmed, like I said, they're willing to participate on that special commission, like I said, on the transit for the RFP. And we're asking, like I said, that this commission, like I said, be approved at this time by the commission. All right.
Chairman, I'll be glad to move approval, and you've picked a good lineup, and some of them are here today in the audience. Thanks for being here, Ms. Barlow, and hopefully I'll get a second.
But motion by Commissioner Ketchel, a second by Commissioner Cox. Is there any further discussion? All right. Mr. Parker, thanks for the work you're continuing to do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's continuously improvement, and it's great to see.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All in favor, signify with aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Next is Michael Hackett, Water and Sewer.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm requesting the board approve a grant award from Florida DEP for a new water tank, as well as approving the county administrator as the authorizing agent for this agreement. The award is for $3.5 million, and it is for the tank at the Shoal River Industrial Park. The tank will be on the same county-owned parcel as the new well. This site is located at the entrance of the new Shoal River Water Reclamation Facility access road. We anticipate this being about a 750,000 gallon steel elevated tank. Probably will be a pedestal style design, but that'll be confirmed in the design process. Design is planned for 2026 with construction in 2027. This, along with the new well, will be a very great benefit in terms of mitigating main breaks, increase fire suppression, increase capacity for future growth, and just overall system redundancy. So we're very excited about this project. That's all I have at the moment. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Great project. Commissioners? Thank you.
Second, okay.
A motion by Commissioner Goodwin, a second by Commissioner Cox. Any further discussion? It's great to see the progress in this as well. What y'all have gotten done so far is pretty aggressive. It's good to hear the timeline realistically with 26 and 27.
Yes, sir.
And outside of this item, thank you for the work you had to do over the weekend with the boil notice in Shalimar, the limited boil notice, but it definitely was helpful to receive the information.
Good. Good.
All in favor, signify with aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Hackett.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Scott Bitterman, Public Works.
Morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Got a couple items for you today. The first item is a maintenance agreement with FDOT for an improvement on Airport Road in Crestview. FDOT has identified an accident pattern in the curve at Buckhorn Drive, and they've funded a high friction surface treatment application to improve safety. Basically, that's they coat the road with a really coarse aggregate that helps the tires grip. So this safety project does not require any funding by the county, and FDOT has scheduled the work for early 2027. Whenever FDOT works on a county roadway like this, they like to have an agreement in place that just documents that we will maintain Airport Road when it's all said and done. And so I recommend a motion to approve a resolution and authorize the chairman to sign the off-system project maintenance agreement for the resurfacing and other minor roadway improvements on Airport Road. Glad to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Chairman, this is your district. Are you in favor?
I am. It's a terrible section of roadway that the guardrail, I'm not sure how often you can replace it, but It's been put to the test over and over.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Ketchel, a second by Commissioner Cox. Any further discussion? All in favor signify with aye. And that passes unanimously. Thank you,
Thank
Mr. Bitterman.
The second item is an additional design task order for the Overbrook area stormwater improvements. The county received an appropriation to design a pond on Air Force property just north of the Overbrook subdivision. The grant was amended to include funding for pond construction with a total contribution from the state of $1 million. Because the need to move a maintenance road to the pond out of wetland areas, an additional environmental studies needed. I wrote the name down just so that you know what it is. It's a finding of no practical alternative, but it's something that the Air Force would like to see in order to move the roadway out of the wetlands. We recommend a motion to approve the task order with HDR for the Overbrook Area Stormwater Improvements Project. The amount is $138,400, and it's for environmental documentation and design modifications. Be glad to answer any questions on this item.
Mr. Chairman, this is in my district, and this is a project that's very significant importance to a good number of constituents in District 4 in this Overbrook area who've experienced, habitual flooding in the past several years. And, this is something that we've had partnerships with, Scott, Eglin Air Force Base, the state's given us appropriations. So a lot of partners trying to help mitigate this problem. And we've been working on it for how long?
We first applied for the grant in 2018, so there's a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross when we do environmental studies for the Air Force.
That's right. So, it takes a long time, just as, I know this board knows that, but it just takes such a long time to get one of these projects from, an initial concept through all the design phase and permitting hurdles that you have to go through. And so I appreciate the continuity in your team and staff. And it just, unfortunately, I wish we could have had this done by 2020, but it's just not practical. But we haven't stopped.
Right.
And that's the message I think our constituents need to know, that even though sometimes these things take a long time, it doesn't mean that we're not actively pursuing it as fast as we can shove government process down the road. And I know that our staff is real bullish on pushing these type of things through, but we have to work with others, and we'll work within those parameters. So with that said, I think the request makes sense, moving the road out of the wetlands. And then, of course, every little change we make, more process, right, Scott?
That's right.
So, and process means costs and time. But anyway, I'll move to approve because it's what we got to do. So thank you.
Motion by Commissioner Goodwin. Second by Commissioner Palmer. Any further discussion? All in favor signify with aye. That passes unanimously. It's Jennifer Adams, Tourist Development. Thank you, Mr. Bitterman. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Alex and I have two items to bring forth for consideration today, but before I get started, I'd just like to say that yesterday, the contractors successfully removed the first stack, which is a great progress for us. If you'd like to see it, we can send you the link for you to watch. It took a while, but we're moving forward.
I think Nick has the
Nick has it? Yep.
feed pulled up. If
Yep.
you wanna show.
Yep. So, so my first request today is to your approval for the municipal expenditure plan for 2026. As you know, 12.5% comes off of the tourist development tax revenues, and it's divided across the municipalities. This year, 3 municipalities requested funds. The city of Destin, the city of Fort Walton Beach, and the city of Valparaiso. Today, only 2 are moving forward. The city of Destin will be paying back the money that they borrowed from Tarpon. We're in year 4 of year 10. And they will also be using the rest of their money for beach and boardwalk operations. The city of Fort Walton Beach wants to do some renovations to the golf course greens, as well as maintain some of their parks for tournaments. Valpy is issuing theirs. And then the other municipalities that did not request their money will bank over for future projects in future years. We try to have them submit in March to keep in line with our budgeting, but those funds are there and we're certainly able to evaluate. So today I'm requesting that you approve the city of Destin's and the city of Fort Walton's funding projects for 2026.
Motion by Commissioner Palmer, a second by Commissioner Ketchel. Any further discussion? I understand Crestview is working on a project, so we'll see
Yeah.
what they get, and there'll be a timeline as they bring that forward.
Yes. And I'd like to remind you all that 3 municipalities, Shalimar, Cinco Bayou, and Mary Esther, are using their dollars in conjunction with the county for tourism-related projects.
Great. All in favor, signify with aye. Passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Commissioners. So this item presented today is associated with East Pass dredging. As you recall, back in 2020, there was a feasibility study completed in collaboration with Taylor Engineering to look at expanding the federal channel coming into East Pass. As you may remember, about every 5 years or so, we dredge the pass and remove about 200,000 cubic yards of sand that's then placed on adjacent beaches. The feasibility study looked at actually expanding that to 600,000 cubic yards and over 1 million cubic yards, and that sand could be placed to the east or the west of Destin's East Pass. That feasibility study was completed, reviewed favorably, and about a year ago, we applied for grant funds to move us into the design and permitting portion of the project. We were awarded those funds about a month ago, a little less than a month ago, and today we're bringing the agreement to you for review and signature to move into that phase. Keep in mind the construction phase of the project wouldn't happen until 27 or 28, and next board meeting will actually be bringing a grant application to you to review for the construction phase funding for that project. And this is through Florida Department of Environmental Protection for a grant award of $320,000 matched with $320,000. Any questions?
Motion for approval.
Motion by Commissioner Ketchel,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Palmer. Any further discussion? Mr. Fogg, thanks for the work that you continue to do. The natural resources team is doing things in our county that really, I believe we're setting the stage for the other 66 counties in the state of how we can be good stewards of our water and of our land. And so it's great to see. And that just the depths of you being involved in different aspects. I know sometimes you probably are traveling more than you would like to. We keep sending you places, but it really is enhancing what we have to offer here. And then your team is doing a tremendous job while you're away, being able to keep things going. The cleanup that you had most recently, it always amazes me to see how much comes out, especially underneath the pier.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great efforts. Thank you for the diligent.
Thank you very much.
Continue with. All in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously.
Chairman, before Mr. Fogg walks away, Nick, you had a video of the stack. How long is it? Let's see it. I mean, this is a big deal and you've worked so hard on this project. And the stack, I understand, will be placed in our museum once we
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
museum.
Yep. It'll go to a storage unit or a storage land parcel for now and then be moved over to Destin Fort Walton Beach when the museum gets to that point.
Thank you, Alex.
And so we're here on the deck of the SS United States, and we're actually in the process of having the forward stack removed and placed onto a barge for it to be preserved for the museum that'll be uprighted in Destin Fort Walton Beach in the coming years. This is a big part of the project, making sure that the funnels are actually coming off in one piece and they aren't damaged. The team, Colleen Marine Team's been working on this for well over a few months, and they're finally at the finish line here.
So Commissioners, last week, Mr. Fogg took some of our partners, including the dive team from the sheriff's office, on board so that they could go and tour the vessel while it was dry and they could see everywhere amongst it. Those type of efforts is what makes me more confident and comfortable as we continue to pursue the world's largest artificial reef.
Thank you. And I'll note that it was probably the hottest day of the year in Mobile that day.
So, Chair-
Well, yes.
So a friend of mine was cleaning out their garage and found an original manifest and everything, and they were going to donate it to the museum.
Very cool. We get reached out to on a pretty regular basis with folks that have tickets and other memorabilia from over the years that they're wanting to donate. We connect them with the Conservancy for them to be able to receive those items and include in
I'm
the museum.
excited about the museum.
Very much so.
And
Yep.
thank you so much for the work that you continue to do for Okaloosa County. We're so fortunate to have you.
Thank you.
And I do mean that, even though I was the one vote no for the ship sinking. I won't see it in the water, so I probably ought to go see it while it's dry. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ms. Oshihara.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We present to you a draft social media policy that's been in the works for over a year. With the ever increasing use of social media by county departments, employees, and the public, we felt that it was prudent to develop a social media policy. This policy addresses content regulation, user conduct, handling of public feedback, compliance with state and federal laws, as well as it's in compliance with the trends in recent case law. We did make one modification since the agenda was finalized, and I have printed out copies in front of each of you. On the very last page, page 6, subsection H, we added a last sentence to clarify. So subsection H prohibits using the county's name, phone number, email address, logos on personal social media sites. And we added a last sentence that clarifies that, which reads, "This is not intended to prohibit reflections of county employees' work life, which may capture a county logo while wearing a county-issued uniform or standing near a county vehicle or building." That provision was really intended, the prohibition was intended to prevent anyone from creating social media sites that could be perceived from others that look like a county site. So basically like someone from spoofing like a county social media site. And so we didn't want that to create unintended violations, consequences. So I'm happy to answer any questions. This has been vetted by several different departments that are that use social media through the county, and this also helps give the PIO's office the tools necessary to archive irrelevant comments or things that are not on topic, and as well as those that violate the terms of the policy.
Commissioner Goodwin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I did read the policy, the version we had in the agenda packet before this one last change, and I thought it was very well drafted. And did a good job of balancing the county's interests against the respect that we have for, individuals to be able to use social media. Because that's, just so commonplace these days. But I did have a question for you related to the new addition to subsection H on page 6, that last sentence. And so I follow the logic in what we're trying to accomplish by having that carve out. In other words, saying, people, that work for the county don't have to pretend that they don't work for the county when they're engaging in social media. In other words, they don't have to lose their entire work identity altogether to show someone that they went to, that they did something great at work or something like that. However, and this is just something to think about, and I'm not saying that we would have to change it right here, right now, but maybe it's worth kind of chewing on and coming back, even if we adopt this. Finding a way to make sure that even though we're allowing that opportunity, that we have some guardrails so that, and it would be the exception, right? Because 99% of our employees are logical, reasonable, and frankly, very loyal to the county. But there's always, a potential for an outlier. And, for somebody to put on a county logo shirt that they wear to work that has a prominent sign, and then get, and on their personal page, create some sort of a platform statement that is not something the county's adopted, it could give across the appearance that it's being done as county, right? You know, for instance, I'm sure, I'm sure other agencies, law enforcement probably has some restrictions on you can't put on your full uniform, go on your personal page, and then talk about defund the police or something like that. I'm just using this as a broad example, but I don't know if there's any guardrails on that because we certainly want to be respectful. I think just like you pointed out, hey, if you work for the county, you have a right to be proud for what you do. If you want to share it with your friends and family, something great you accomplished, awesome. But not to use it as a pretext to make it look like the county's adopting a position that it hasn't. So again, I'm not saying we need to try to wordsmith it today. I would be comfortable and I'll be happy to make a motion to approve it as is. And not necessarily part of the motion, but I'll just say my request is maybe kind of think on that, Ms. Hoshihara, and see if there's some guardrails to build in.
Certainly, and those are absolutely great points. We did, the hardest part of this policy was balancing, as you said, the county's, interest in disseminating information that we think would be helpful to the public, but also, being mindful of people's First Amendment rights. I will say a lot of local government jurisdictions don't allow comments, like their social media sites are one way, but we do think that there's benefit in engaging the public and getting their feedback. And so to try to put, as you said, guardrails on it, I will mention a couple of things. The second sentence within subsection H requires that if they're going to be if they're wearing a uniform shirt that they're posting on their personal social media site, they have to post in a conspicuous place that that the views expressed online do not represent the views of the county. But also in section 9, on page 5, section 9, where is it? E and F addresses some of that, in that employees are prohibited from making statements about the county, their coworkers, partners, or agents that could be considered as harassing, threatening, or defamatory. They're also prohibited from sharing any communication that engages in personal sexual harassment, unfounded accusations, remarks that could contribute to a hostile work environment, as well as any behavior not in agreement with the county's other policies and objectives. But certainly we can, and that's something we've talked about internally with departments, is it may be that we ask the board to adopt this, kind of keep track of, what issues we come across, and then make modifications, bring back modifications and revisions as necessary. But certainly we'll keep in mind your comments and see if additional revisions are necessary in the future.
Thank you. And so that's my motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for the motion. Commissioner Cox.
I would like to give some consideration to maybe, being more specific about, running anything that has county logo on it through someone for approval. I'm not saying that necessarily should be Nick, but we do have a PIO, a public information officer, who was very, very adept at, branding issues and what have you. As someone who has worked, for a major airline, I can just say that the basic, corporate mentality about this is what I have in my family. I'll tell my kids all the time. I'm like, you may do that, but not with my name on your jersey, right? So what I mean is, how, there may be some framework for addressing when a county logo would be permissible to publish across socials and when not. I mean, if it's something that a county employee has been, law enforcement are not allowed, just as to echo what Commissioner Goodwin said, law enforcement is not allowed to be photographed in their uniform, for behaving in a certain manner, or, some social activities that, are not allowed to be photographed in uniform. And that, I mean, even sororities do that, right? I mean, the sorority will not allow you to be photographed with alcohol in your hand. So along those lines, I mean, I would like to see some measure of advisement, at least toward the employees, that if there is a county logo involved, I mean, then there is, some filter, therein. Maybe our PIO can, put out some parameters, or HR can put out some parameters when that is acceptable and when that would not be acceptable. I know a litany of of different parameters from corporate, from, law enforcement agencies and what have you. I would like to see some kind of incorporation of that, at maybe a more specific level, because I think, when the public sees, I don't even think in our county that we have, maybe the disloyals that would say, this is what the county is allowing to happen, but I worry about what other counties, would be able to see, well, we're doing it this way, but Okaloosa County is doing it this way. I mean, look at this. And I don't want that on us when we go to ask for the state for money and stuff like that. I worry more about our brand as a county and how we can collect those dollars, here versus there. And so that's what I would like to see, some more, specific advice as to when they can and cannot use the brand of Okaloosa County.
Certainly, and we're happy to work with the PIO's office to come up with, and I don't know if you wanted that incorporated into the policy or like a separate thing to work with the PIO's office and HR to disseminate to county employees so that they're aware.
So if it's an employee, then I think that's applicable, but as far as us as electeds, I think it should also be applicable. So maybe a collaboration of both.
If we push too hard, in my opinion, all we're doing is encouraging ghost profiles. I mean, we are talking about social media here. So if we put the parameters very stringent upon employees, then we're just saying, go create a fake name and say whatever you want to. I'm fearful to go too deep and too strong.
If you may, Chairman, I appreciate all the work Lynn and her team has done on this. It gives us some guidelines and a tool to help us move forward on things and keep an open conversation with the public. I will say I concur with what Lynn said, and if the board decides to pass this and maybe we kind of see how it plays out, keeping those generalities, that first sentence in section H addresses generally your concerns, and we could take it on a case-by-case basis until the commission decides that we need to refine this particular policy. If
I will lean on you with them there then.
Mr. Chairman, I know we have a motion on the floor and we don't have a second yet, but we've entered into discussion anyway, so if you'll indulge. So I agree. Generally, I understand my fellow commissioners' concerns with, representing county positions on personal pages and things like that. I do think it's covered in section H, and I think that, I agree with the chairman. We have to be careful about how hard we push to, because we're just going to encourage, ghost profiles or whatever. I would suggest that, potentially we could have, rather than, making the policy more kind of buttoned down before passing it, because, again, I read through it, I like it. There were some questions I had, I got them answered prior to this meeting. But, possibly we could do something like an implementation guide for county employees to just some guideline that goes along with it, with the policy saying, here's what the policy is, here's how we envision it. And then we can receive employee feedback and see how that works. And if we need to, tighten up the policy later on, I think that would be a good way to do that. And then we could receive that feedback without having to, kind of make the sausage right here from the dais.
Was that a second?
With my second.
Thank you. Commissioner Goodman?
With, kind of coming off of Commissioner Palmer's comments, do we need to amend it to have a specific delegation to staff to be able to, we're kind of making the policy to have give staff a delegated authority to come up with implementing guidelines. That way it's in a formal process. They can't expand the policy, but what they can do is take the general concepts that we would encapsulate in the policy and distill it down to, a usable guideline, but go ahead and just officially delegate that to them at this point. Ms. Hoshar, would that make sense?
Yes, I think that would be helpful.
So I would amend to do that.
And I will amend my second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Before we move to the additional public comment, I would like the scouts from Troop 30 to come and we'll just do a picture together. And then I know y'all were leaving in a few minutes. And so y'all come on forward. Is that okay, Commissioner? Line up in a line right in front of the wooden dais area. Right to the longest. You guys can get a little bit closer. There we go. Yeah. Mr. Tomacek, I have no further speaker cards. Is that the same as you reflect? Is there anyone from the public desiring to speak? Right, seeing none. Commissioner Palmer.
So I don't have much today, but I do want to, commend Troop 30. I thank you guys for being here today and for presenting the colors for us in the Pledge of Allegiance and also for being able to make it through an entire meeting. I appreciate it. That was a fast meeting, but good job, guys. It's inspiring to see, young people come out and be a part of this. So thank you guys for being here.
Mr. Cashman.
Couple of things. Each year we have the Lazarus program, which is when we bury the indigent poor, those who have died without anybody to bury them. This year it'll be on a Monday, so it'll be, and because it usually falls on November 2nd, but 2nd is a Sunday, and we have 30 faith community groups, 30 ministers, rabbis that attend this, plus 100 and some individuals who just want to come. So it'll be November 3rd, Monday, and at Beale at 10 o'clock, just so your calendars. November 11th is Veterans Day. Many of you have other plans, but I wanted to tell the fellow commissioners up here as well that we're going to have a ceremony at the convention center at 1 o'clock. We're going to unveil 2 new statues, one of which will become my second favorite one. Margaret Corbin is my favorite, I have to say, the one on the plaza. But the second one is an Iroquois Indian woman who worked and served with us in the Battle of 1812. That statue is amazing. And we have all the Native Americans are so excited. They're coming and they're going to be our honor guard and they're going to be in full regalia and they're going to do a drum dance. So if you don't have anything else, if you're staying in town for Veterans Day, we're going to honor all of our veterans, some of which are in the audience, I see. Thank you for your service. On November 11th, Veterans Day at 1 o'clock at the Convention Center. This is going to be quite the ceremony this year. So please, please come. It'll be wonderful. We are so proud to serve in a community that has 7 bases around us. Thank you.
Warden, I'm glad you're here. When we're finished with the meeting, Mr. Coffey and I would love to see you for a minute. I have nothing else to add. Commissioner Goodwin.
Nothing further this morning. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Cox.
I just wanted to briefly give an update to anyone who might be listening to piggyback on County Administrator Hofstede's comments about the FPL site and the status of the kayak breach. I have now visited the site several times and several homeowners affected at the site, and I'm pleased to say that by my best estimates and the hundreds and hundreds of dump trucks and earth moving equipment that are out there, that they do appear to be making their best effort and being a good community partner in this. It will take time and patience. I visited the site to see the really bad water and to see the clearing water. So we know that sediment is going to take some time to clear, but it is clearing. I would just ask that you remain optimistic and reach out to me directly if you have any concerns and you live in that district or are affected by that breach. I certainly want to hear from you. I have been less available over the last couple of weeks than I would have liked because of the passing of my mother. So if you will just be patient, we are going to address your concerns. Don't hesitate to reach out to my office. I am still here for you. Thank you.
All right, meeting's adjourned.